As we reported earlier, the January 6th Commission is starting to take shape on Capitol Hill. Democrats say it is important to get to the bottom of what happened, but Republicans say it is nothing more than political theater. Joining us now to talk more about this is Amber Athey, Washington editor for The Spectator. Amber, welcome back. Good to see you. First off, I'd like to get your take on the January 6th Select Committee. What are your thoughts on it, and also the timing of it?
Sure. Well, even just the setup of the committee makes quite clear that this is a partisan, not a fact-finding endeavor. 10 of the Republicans who actually voted to impeach former President Donald Trump over his response to the Capitol riots, out of those 10 Republicans, only 2 of them actually agreed with the way Pelosi set up this select committee. She actually gets to choose 8 out of the 13 members without input from anyone else. And the other 5 are chosen with just the advice of the minority leader. But Pelosi still ultimately gets to choose those individuals as well. So this is not going to be a very bipartisan committee. We're not even sure what powers exactly it's going to have. So far, it just looks like this is a way for Democrats to continue the narrative that Trump supporters are violent and are trying to cause an insurrection. And they're not really trying to get to the bottom of what actually happened.
Yeah, on a different note, I know that you actually wrote a story about a new social media initiative from Jason Miller, one of former President Trump's top advisors. What more can you tell us about this initiative?
Yes, the new social media app is called Getter. It was launched on July 4th, Independence Day. That was no coincidence. The idea behind this app is that it does not censor people for having the quote unquote wrong political opinions like some of the big tech social media companies, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, etc. Jason Miller, former Trump advisor, talked to me about the app, and he said that they have several backup plans and contingency plans in place in case that the big tech companies like Amazon's web hosting service do decide to deplatform them. But some of the interesting features they have that places like Twitter and Facebook don't have is a 777 character limit on these posts, a 3-minute video limit, which is much higher than Twitter, and some more features that will be coming out are live streaming capabilities, as well as the ability to tip content creators. So they've been working on this for about a year now, and it looks very promising in terms of having a content moderation policy that is fair and doesn't discriminate against people just based on having, again, the wrong political opinions.
Yeah, and I was going to ask you, can you talk a little bit more about, the importance of that, of having alternatives so that people can get their views out, particularly those with conservative viewpoints?
Right. Well, this has been a big issue over the past year. Conservatives have been censored for suggesting that the coronavirus actually might have leaked out of the Wuhan lab as opposed to being naturally occurring and coming from a wet market. The New York Post was censored on Twitter for reporting on Hunter Biden's emails, which came from his hard drive. It was a completely legitimate story. And conservatives have been censored for suggesting that there may have been fraud in the 2020 election. Even if you just point out an instance of fraud and don't even say, that Trump is the real president and that Joe Biden actually lost, that still is enough for Twitter to flag and remove your post. And of course, the former president, Donald Trump, has been removed from Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. So when you look at all of these instances, it doesn't seem to be a coincidence that they're all happening in one direction. So at a certain point, conservatives have to start looking for alternatives to make sure that their voices are able to be heard on the internet.
We have a little less than 30 seconds, but I want to get your take on this. Sunday, of course, was Independence Day, as you know, and a lot of us celebrated the birth of our nation with fireworks and get-togethers. Not everyone was so enthusiastic. Some liberal lawmakers and commentators basically denounced the holiday. In fact, Missouri Democrat Cori Bush said the 4th of July is only about freedom for white Americans. Probably about 20 seconds left. Amber, your thoughts?
Well, it certainly is disappointing that an individual who has been able to rise to one of the top positions in our country would have the gall to say that she doesn't have freedom or people like her don't have freedom. The beauty of America is that everyone has equal opportunity here, and you would think a congressperson who has made it all the way to elected office would know that.
Well, Amber, thank you so much for your time today, your analysis. We appreciate it. Amber Athey, Washington editor for The Spectator. Thank you again.
Thank you.